The city trembles. New York City was alive in the way only New York could be. Horns blaring, neon signs glowing, and a million lives rushing forward with no time to look back. But on this night, something broke the rhythm. At first, it was subtle. The ground shook, a low tremor that rattled glasses in diners and made pigeons scatter from power lines. People thought it was construction, or maybe a subway malfunction. Then came the roar. The kind of roar that made skyscrapers shiver. On 7th Avenue, cars screeched to a halt as a green colossus burst through a row of storefronts. The Hulk! His massive fists swung wildly, crumbling concrete like sand. He wasn't just angry. He was enraged beyond reason, his eyes glowing with an unnatural crimson hue that reflected off the broken glass littering the streets. People screamed and scattered, but for every block Hulk smashed, the city itself seemed to groan as if sharing his fury. High above, a figure in red and blue swung into view. "Big guy," Spider-Man muttered under his breath as he landed on a tilted lamp post, surveying the chaos below. "Please tell me this is just another bad Monday and not whatever this is." He fired 2 quick webs, yanking civilians away from falling debris before leaping into the fray. His quips came fast, but his mind was racing faster. Hulk had rampaged before, sure, but there was something different this time. This wasn't the Hulk's usual pattern of destruction. His rage looked infected, almost controlled. Spider-Man swung down in front of the monster, raising his hands. "Hey, Banner! Or Hulk! Or whoever's driving, wanna maybe not wreck New York for, like, the 1000th time. We got tourists here." Hulk's only answer was a ground-shaking punch that Spider-Man dodged at the last second, the shockwave sending cars flying like toys. Spider-Man launched a webline, slingshotting himself into Hulk's face and landing 2 kicks in quick succession. They barely registered. Hulk swatted him out of the air, sending him crashing into a parked bus. Groaning, Spider-Man pulled himself free. "Okay. That's a no." Before he could regroup, the sky darkened. Clouds swirled unnaturally, lightning forking across the skyline. A deep rumble followed, not from the ground this time but from above. And then he appeared, crashing down in a bolt of thunder that rattled every window within 5 blocks. Thor, clad in shining armor, Mjolnir in hand, his cape billowing with the storm, he looked like a god descending in judgment. Citizens who had lingered too long in shock gasped as he strode forward, his voice carrying like thunder itself. "Creature of Midgard, what madness drives you to rend this city asunder?" Spider-Man scrambled onto the side of a building, panting. "Thor, buddy, glad you dropped in. We've got a situation." Hulk's not, well, he's never fine, but this is extra not fine. Something's off. Thor's eyes narrowed at the sight of Hulk tearing through another building front. I see it. His aura is clouded, tainted. This is no mere fury." He raised Mjolnir, lightning crackling around him. Spider-Man's eyes widened beneath his mask. Wait. Let's not smite first, talk later. It's still Banner in there somewhere." But Hulk roared and charged, leaving no time for debate. Thor hurled Mjolnir, the hammer striking Hulk square in the chest and sending him staggering back into a wall. The impact shook the ground so violently that car alarms wailed for blocks. For a heartbeat, the world seemed to still. Then Hulk tore free from the rubble, angrier than ever. He ripped a lamppost from the ground and swung it like a club. Thor blocked it with his hammer, the shock wave of the clash shattering glass on every floor of the nearest skyscraper. Spider-Man zipped between them, his webs latching onto the lamppost. "Guys, I know this looks like fun, but maybe don't turn Midtown into a crater? Think of the rent prices." Neither Titan listened. Thor struck with thunder, Hulk with fury. Spider-Man was caught between 2 storms, his webs barely saving civilians as debris fell like rain. But as he worked, Peter noticed something no one else could. There was a shimmer around Hulk's form, a faint, pulsing energy, almost invisible unless you were looking for it. And Peter had always been the guy who noticed the little things. That's when he heard it. Not a sound exactly, but a whisper. Cold, alien, carried on the storm. A voice that wasn't Hulk's at all. Break them. Break their will. Feed the hive. Spider-Man froze, his heart pounding. Whatever was happening here, Hulk wasn't the real enemy. Someone, something, was pulling the strings. Thor swung Mjolnir again. Hulk blocked with his fists, and the shockwave rippled out like an earthquake. Spider-Man crouched on a shattered taxi roof, eyes narrowing behind the mask. "Okay," he muttered. "This just went from bad day to cosmic nightmare. And I've got a bad feeling it's only getting worse." Above the chaos, in the shadows of the storm clouds, a figure watched. His eyes glowed faintly with the same crimson fire that burned inside Hulk's. Zorath the Unyielding smiled. His trap was working. And New York was only the beginning. Rage unleashed. The sound was like thunder, but it didn't come from the sky. It came from the ground, from every clash of fist and hammer. Hulk and Thor collided again, sending shockwaves down the length of Times Square. Windows shattered, cars flipped, and the asphalt itself cracked beneath their battle. Spider-Man swung on a web line overhead, weaving desperately through falling debris. His mask hid his grimace, but inside, Peter Parker was panicking. This wasn't a fight he could win. He wasn't strong enough to stop Thor. He wasn't strong enough to stop Hulk. And yet, people were still in the streets, trapped in the chaos. That meant quitting wasn't an option. "Okay, Peter," he muttered to himself as he flipped between tumbling billboards. "Your job isn't to win. Your job is to keep them from killing everyone else." He dove, scooping up a mother and her daughter from the crosswalk as a taxi exploded beside them, flames rushing outward. With 2 quick thwips, he webbed them safely onto a fire escape before flipping back into the storm. Below him, Thor grunted as Hulk swung a lamp post like a club. Mjolnir intercepted it, sparks flying as godly steel met warped metal. Hulk roared, the sound shaking Peter's bones even from above. His eyes glowed brighter now, crimson light pulsing in rhythm with his heartbeat. "Thor!" Spider-Man yelled as he swung past. "You can't just smash him down. Something's controlling him." But Thor didn't answer. He was too busy trading blows, lightning and muscle colliding in a storm of power. To the god of thunder, this wasn't just a fight, it was a test of will. He couldn't see the chain Spider-Man had glimpsed in the energy around Hulk. He only saw an unstoppable monster threatening Midgard. And Zorath fed on it. Hidden in the storm clouds above the city, the alien's form shimmered like smoke. Every roar, every clash, every burst of rage fed him. His presence wound tighter around Hulk's mind, twisting Banner's last fragile threads of control. Zorath's whispers pressed deeper into Hulk's thoughts. "They don't understand you. They fear you. Crush them before they crush you." Hulk slammed both fists into the ground, cracking the street in half. A wave of rubble surged outward, toppling signs and overturning cars. Spider-Man was flung into the side of a bus, webbing himself to avoid being buried alive. Not good. Really not good. As he peeled himself free, Spider-Man noticed civilians trapped beneath an overturned delivery truck. Hulk's rampage had blocked the street, and the wreckage was beginning to catch fire. Without thinking, he darted forward, straining as he pulled at the crushed door. His enhanced strength helped, but it wasn't enough, until Thor's lightning struck down beside him. For a heartbeat, Peter thought Thor was attacking him. But then the god knelt, gripping the truck with one hand. Together, human and god lifted the wreckage, freeing the terrified survivors. Spider-Man webbed them out of harm's way, his chest heaving. Thor looked at him for the first time without anger. "You are right, small one. The beast is not himself. Yet his fury grows beyond reason. Before Peter could respond, Hulk roared again and charged. Thor turned, meeting him head-on, and the battle reignited with even greater fury. Spider-Man climbed a wall, clinging to the side of a half-collapsed building. From there, he studied Hulk more carefully. The crimson glow in his eyes wasn't just light, it pulsed like veins of energy threading across his skin. And it wasn't stopping with Hulk. Each punch he landed released bursts of energy that spread across the ground like cracks in glass. Those same cracks crept up walls, flickering with faint red light. "Oh no," Peter whispered. "He's spreading it." It wasn't just Hulk under Zorath's control. It was the city itself, being infected by the aliens' rage-born energy. Down below, Hulk finally overpowered Thor, slamming him into a wall so hard that the god fell to one knee. Hulk raised the lamp-post again, ready to finish it. "No!" Spider-Man shouted, leaping from the wall. He fired a dozen weblines in rapid succession, wrapping Hulk's arm, the lamppost, and even his chest. His feet braced against the crumbling wall. He pulled with everything he had. For a moment, it worked. Hulk's swing slowed. His crimson-glowing eyes flicked upward, narrowing at Spider-Man. Then he yanked back with impossible strength. The webbing snapped, flinging Spider-Man into a shattered billboard. Pain shot through Peter's ribs. He groaned, rolling over, struggling to breathe. "Okay, that's gonna bruise." But as Hulk turned back to Thor, Peter saw something. For the briefest instant, when his webs had slowed Hulk's arm, Banner's eyes flickered through. Just a flash of green iris beneath the red glow, but it was enough. "Banner's still in there," he realized. "He's not gone." He staggered up, firing a new webline to pull himself back into the fight. Zorath, still hidden above, frowned. The human was meddling, noticing details he shouldn't. He hissed, pouring more energy into Hulk's mind. The effect was immediate. Hulk roared louder than ever, his body swelling, muscles bulging as his rage reached a breaking point. The ground beneath Times Square cracked open, smoke and energy spewing upward like a volcano. The air itself vibrated with the force of his fury. Thor rose, battered but unyielding, and lifted Mjolnir. Lightning coursed down his arms, sparking through the rubble. "Spider-Man! This cannot continue. If the beast destroys this city, I will strike him down." Spider-Man's heart sank. He understood Thor's resolve. But killing Hulk wasn't the answer. Banner was still inside, and Peter refused to give up on him. "Just give me a chance," Peter shouted, swinging between them again. "I can reach him. I know I can." Thor's eyes met his. For a moment, the god hesitated. But then Hulk charged again, and the fight resumed. Above them, Zorath's laughter echoed in the storm. "Yes, break each other. Feed me more." The city of New York trembled once again, not just from the blows of gods and monsters, but from the weight of a greater truth. If Spider-Man couldn't find a way to save Hulk from himself, then this battle would consume more than Times Square. It would consume the world. And Peter Parker, the smallest hero in the fight, carried the greatest burden, not to win, but to remind two Titans and one tortured man of the humanity they were losing. The breaking point. The city burned. Flames spread across the fractured streets of Times Square, reflecting in the shattered glass of skyscrapers. Smoke hung heavy in the air, choking out the neon lights and casting everything in a red haze. Every tremor from Hulk's footsteps shook the ground, each roar tearing through the night like thunder. Spider-Man perched on the remains of a collapsed billboard, his body aching, ribs screaming from every movement. He had fought villains before, powerful, ruthless, terrifying villains, but this was different. This wasn't a fight he could win with strength or agility. This was Hulk, and Thor, and something else. Something darker. Thor rose again from the rubble of a collapsed parking garage, battered but unbroken. His armor was scorched, his cape torn, his face streaked with dust and blood. But his eyes blazed with determination. "Hulk!" Thor's voice boomed across the ruins. "You are lost to madness. If you cannot hear reason, then I will end your rampage with my hammer." Spider-Man flinched. He knew Thor meant it. Hulk bellowed in answer, eyes glowing crimson as the strange energy pulsed brighter across his veins. The ground beneath him cracked open, streams of scarlet light pouring upward. Every burst of rage spread further, infecting the city like a plague. Spider-Man swung down between them, landing hard on the broken asphalt. His chest heaved as he raised his hands. "Stop, both of you. Can't you see? This isn't just Hulk losing control. Something's messing with him. He's not the enemy." Thor's grip on Mjolnir tightened. "And yet his fists fall upon this realm, not the unseen hand you claim. Because that's what it wants." Spider-Man shouted. "Someone's pulling the strings." Hulk didn't wait for their argument. With a roar that split the air, he charged again, leaping high before slamming down like a meteor. The shockwave knocked Spider-Man sprawling. Thor met Hulk's punch with his hammer, the impact sending ripples of lightning through the sky. The two titans clashed once more, shaking the city to its core. Spider-Man staggered to his feet, coughing on smoke. His vision blurred, but then he saw it again. The shimmer. Threads of energy wrapping Hulk like invisible chains, tightening every time he grew angrier. His scientific mind clicked into focus even through the pain. It wasn't just rage, it was a feedback loop. The more Hulk fought, the more he fed the energy. And then he saw the source. Above, hidden in the storm clouds, a dark silhouette loomed. Crimson eyes glowed through the haze, watching with amusement. Spider-Man's blood ran cold. "Found you," he whispered. He fired a webline, launching himself upward with every ounce of strength he had left. He shot higher and higher, swinging through the smoke, until he reached the storm's heart. There, Zorath waited. The alien warlord's form was monstrous, tall and gaunt, his body wrapped in blackened armor etched with glowing veins of red. His face was angular, sharp, almost skeletal, his eyes blazing with hunger. He floated above the city, feeding on the chaos below, his energy tendrils tethered to Hulk. "So the insect sees me at last," Zorath hissed, his voice cutting into Spider-Man's mind like knives. "Pathetic human. Do you think you can stop what even gods cannot?" Spider-Man landed on a floating chunk of debris, his chest heaving. "You're the one doing this. You're twisting Banner's mind." "I am unlocking his truth," Zorath sneered. "Rage is his nature, his destiny. I merely set it free." Spider-Man's fists clenched. "No, that's not who he is. You don't get to decide that." Zorath chuckled, dark and cruel. "Humans, always clinging to fragile illusions of choice. You are ants in the cosmos. Gods fall. Monsters rage. But in the end, all will break. And when they do, my kind will rise again." His energy surged, lashing out at Spider-Man. Crimson tendrils struck like whips, tearing chunks of building apart. Spider-Man flipped and dodged, webbing onto a broken radio tower. He shot webs at Zorath's face, but the alien swatted them aside like cobwebs. "You cannot fight me," Zorath whispered into his mind. "You are weak." Spider-Man's body ached. His lungs burned. His mask was torn. He had no chance against a being like this, not in strength, not in power. But he wasn't trying to win. He was trying to buy time. Below, Thor and Hulk clashed once more, the ground erupting beneath them. Thor's lightning lit up the city, but Hulk's rage only grew. Spider-Man knew the truth now. If Hulk broke completely, the energy would consume New York, maybe the world. "Banner's still in there," Peter thought. "I just need to reach him." Zorath loomed closer, his voice dripping venom. "You will fail. The monster will destroy your world, and I will feast upon the ruin." Spider-Man's response was quiet, but steady. "You're wrong. You don't understand what makes us human." He fired a web line past Zorath, attaching it to Hulk below. With a desperate swing, he dove back into the chaos, straight toward the raging giant. Hulk was mid-swing, about to crush Thor with both fists. Spider-Man landed on his back, clinging tight, ignoring the energy burning against his suit. "Banner!" he shouted into the monster's ear. "I know you're in there. This isn't you." Hulk thrashed, trying to shake him off. Spider-Man held tighter, his voice breaking as he yelled again. "You're stronger than this. You're not just rage. You're a man who's fought harder than anyone I know to control it. You're Bruce Banner, and you're my friend." For a moment, nothing changed. Then Hulk's fists trembled mid-swing. His roar faltered. Beneath the crimson glow, his eyes flickered green. Thor staggered back, shocked. Spider-Man's heart pounded. "Come on, Banner. Fight it. Don't let him win." Zorath screamed from above, his tendrils tightening, trying to crush Hulk's will. But Spider-Man didn't let go. "You're not a weapon. You're not a monster. You're human. And that means you can choose who you are." Hulk froze. His body shuddered. The crimson glow flickered again, dimming. For the first time since the battle began, Banner's voice echoed through the roar. Peter?" Spider-Man's throat tightened. "Yeah, it's me. And I'm not giving up on you." The chains of energy cracked. Zorath roared in fury, his control slipping. Hulk's chest heaved as he pushed back against the rage. Thor lifted Mjolnir, lightning sparking. The breaking point had come. Humanity's fire. The storm tore open above New York, thunder rolling like the voice of the gods. Lightning split the sky, revealing the alien warlord Zorath screaming in fury as his control unraveled. Hulk staggered, chest heaving, torn between rage and Banner's voice clawing its way back to the surface. The crimson glow flickered in his eyes, fighting against the green. Spider-Man clung to him, refusing to let go. "Banner!" Peter's voice cracked, but he held on with every ounce of strength. "It's not about being the strongest, it's about choosing who you are. That's what makes us human." Zorath's energy lashed downward, wrapping Hulk and Spider-Man in searing chains. "You cannot resist me," the alien shrieked. "You are rage. You are mine." For a moment, Hulk roared in agony, the chains pulling him deeper into madness. But then his fists clenched. His roar shifted, not of pain, but of defiance. With a thunderous bellow, he tore the chains apart, the crimson light shattering around him like glass. Banner's voice echoed through the monster's body. "I am not your weapon." Thor seized the moment. Lightning surged through Mjolnir, the hammer blazing like a star. With a mighty cry, he hurled it skyward, striking Zorath with divine fury. The alien shrieked as the blast ripped through his armor, forcing him back. Spider-Man swung upward, firing webs that stuck across Zorath's faceplate. "Hey, ugly! Eyes off the big guy!" He yanked hard, pulling Zorath's head aside just as Hulk leapt into the air. Hulk's fist connected with unstoppable force. The impact thundered across the city, driving Zorath through the storm clouds and breaking his control completely. The alien's body crackled with unstable energy before erupting in a final blinding blast. The storm scattered. The red light vanished. Silence fell over the ruins of the city. Hulk landed hard, shaking the street. His chest rose and fell as his form shrank, the green fading into Bruce Banner's trembling, exhausted body. Spider-Man caught him before he collapsed. "You did it, Bruce," Peter whispered. "You chose." Banner gave a weak, weary smile. Thanks for not giving up. Thor approached, Mjolnir still glowing faintly. His voice, once thunderous, now carried respect. Bravery does not always wield a hammer or fists. Sometimes it is the fire within that saves the world. Today, Midgard endures because of you. The three heroes stood together amid the ruins, battered, bloodied, but unbroken. Above them, the clouds parted, revealing stars shining down on the city that had survived yet another apocalypse. Spider-Man looked up at the night sky. Let's hope he was the last one. Thor's gaze hardened. Nay, he will not be the last. But should they come, they will find us ready. Hulk, no, Banner, nodded quietly. For the first time in years, the monster inside felt less like a curse and more like a choice. And in that fragile silence, the fire of humanity burned brighter than ever.